Welcome to Virtual Japan as we are here today for round number 6.
Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Fultz. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona and away go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Doms, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now as we've got 3-wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Spark Truck Series here at the Spark Racing League. It is round 1, season 2, and we are at Las Vegas Motor Speedway getting ready to send these Titans out on track. As always, I'm your host, James East, with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second, as it looks like drivers are getting set up here and ready to go. As always, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on, as drivers will frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor or device. And if they don't, they just about always go back and see who's cheering them on. Let's run through the grid for the first time this season. On pole, Hunter Gio in the number 33 machine. Zach Roethlisberger starting second. Jacob Bradley starting third. Nathan Jump starts fourth. We've got Chase Berry starting fifth. Chris Smith starts sixth. Nick Seraph starting seventh. Patrick Hardgrove starting eighth. Brian Brope starting 9th. Rye Jones starts 10th. We've got Peter Stewart starting 11th. Robert Brope starting 12th. Let's cycle it on back to Ashton Cosner starting 13th. Ellis Thomas starting 14th. Dave Grajewski starts 15th. Clifton Simmons starting 16th. Robert White starts 17th. Thomas Bergeron starting 18th. And Abram Ghostin will round out the 19 truck field here. We've got Gas Mask joining us in the spectator area. He's rooting for the big one. It's at Vegas. There's 19 drivers. I'm optimistic we're not going to see a huge crash here tonight. Looks like the field is set. And we're going to get them gridded up. Fans, if you don't mind, let me know how's the microphone audio for you. We just made some last-second adjustments after getting some feedback before today's show. Let me know if it's popping a little bit or if it just sounds askew in any way. And then we will make adjustments here to fire things off the Spark Truck Series. It's season 2. Last season was a ton of fun with these drivers. I'm hoping it's going to be the same going into this season. That's going to be Gio Roethlisberger on that front row. Bradley and Jump your second row. Barry and Smith will make up the third row here at Vegas. Now we've got 83 laps on the board. That should be a shy bit over 40 minutes if we go green from the beginning till the end. We've got I'm Out of Names joining us in the spectator area. I feel like that's one of the racers. Is that maybe Kenny Trouton, I think? It is Kenny Trouton joining us in the spectator area. There we go, the safety car is down pit road. And we are green flag racing for the first time this season, the Spark Truck Series here at Las Vegas. Hunter Gio Roethlisberger is going to lead the field into turn 1 here at Vegas. Looks like Bradley working up the inside line there. The number 50 machine, a quick move up into second as the field tries to get settled here. Roethlisberger, the number 93 machine, up on the high side by side with Nathan Jump in the 29. Everybody's trying to figure out where they're going to slot in as Bradley takes a quick lunge up towards the front. We've got Benson Weaver joining us here in the spectator area. Always good seeing the late model number 1 driver supporting his truck driving friends. Bradley out front. That number 50 machine has quickly gained 2 spots. Gio, Roethlisberger, Jump, all here in the mix, though. We are 2 wide and 2 rows deep. Yeah, Bradley up 2 spots in the first 2 laps. There's somebody looking down on the apron. That is the number 29 of Nathan Jump, but it's further back. Brian Brobst, the number 11 machine, just sets the fastest lap of the race, a 30.47. Right ahead of Brobst is Nick Seraph, Chris Smith, side by side, the battle for 6. We're only 3 laps into the season opener, and it doesn't look like drivers are going to be content going single file here, immediately trying to make some lunges up towards the front. Bradley covers the apron against Nathan Jump. Jump's going to move up into second. Hunter Gio up on the high side. The pink and black 33 is going to fall back to 4th here as Roethlisberger takes back over the final podium position. Another heated battle. There's Brian Brobst, the number 5. You got Peter Stewart, Ellis Thomas, Patrick Hartgrove, all in this tight pack, really from about 9th place back as they're catching up to Rye Jones in the 091 machine. Jones, the purple and black Chevrolet. Now, unfortunately, we were not told what possible fuel numbers would be here tonight at Vegas by any of the drivers, but we were told it could possibly be a one-stop race. I'm hoping we get to see some green flag pit stops as there's Nathan Jump looking up to the inside line. The number 29 Chevrolet edging out Jacob Bradley, who's now up on the high side. Zach Roethlisberger is going to tuck in behind Jump, seeing if he can take back over the 2nd place position. And Hunter Gio, Brian Brobst, Nick Seraph, Barry Smith, all catching up here to the lead pack as we hint at single file. But now I think it's going to be Roethlisberger's turn to take a peek as he gives a hearty shove to Nathan Jump, the race leader. Looks like it's going to be Jump, Roethlisberger, Bradley, 1, 2, 3. I see some action from one of the newcomers. That's going to be Robert White, piloting the number 17 Ford F-150. He's in battle with Dave Grajewski, Thomas Bergeron, and Clifton Simmons, as that is 15th through 18th linked up. Now, Abram Ghostin, the number 22, hanging back a little bit from this pack. There we go. There's Ghostin, the Chevrolet. Seems to be happy just cruising along. I bet you that's the driver that is expecting a big incident to come out during this season opener. Roethlisberger up front, the number 93 Ford F-150, backed by Aflac. Bradley shuffled back into second. Hunter Gio has fought his way back up into third, but it is a very busy pack. Right now, you're seeing 1st through 14th place, separated by less than a second and a half here. So I'd imagine the fuel window is going to open up around lap 35, and I'm wagering it's going to close by lap 45 from previous truck races I've called here at Vegas. Drivers do have 90% fuel allotment, so not quite a full tank allotted for these drivers. As we hint at some 3-wide action, the number 67 of Nick Seraph was going to be on the low line, goes back to the middle there. Right behind him, that is Eli Thomas, you've got Chase Berry, Chris Smith all in the fray. Jump goes way up against the wall there. Loses a spot to Smith, and Jones Jones not quite able to get by. Roethlisberger still out front. Thomas Bergeron, Dave Grajewski side by side for 15th. You've also got Jones and Jump side by side, just barely inside the top 10 here. I gotta agree with Benson Weaver. It looks like plate track racing. Like a miniature Talladega or Daytona, if you will. Who's that taking a peek? That's Seraph. Looking along the inside line of Ellis Thomas, trying to work his way up into 5th. He gets a nose over Thomas as Chris Smith makes a pass against Chase Berry. Now that we've got some experienced truck drivers in the chat, and by that I mean Mr. Dustin Bally, the world-famous road race ringer, maybe some of the fans out there will know what type of fuel runs we're going to see with 90% tanks for these trucks. Bradley looking at the inside line of Roethlisberger into turn 1 here at Vegas. Side by side they go. Oh, and things are getting a little bit dicey up front. The number 11 of Brian Brobst working his way up towards the front. He's currently one of the hard charts out on track. Brobst and the number 11 Toyota, he's up 5 positions. But it's Ellis Thomas, the number 8 Ford F-150, who is up 7s that currently holds the title of hard charger. Lap times really haven't fallen off too much here, even with the big moves we've seen for the race lead. Drivers are about 6/10 off their fastest laps of the race, so the tires starting to drop off a little bit here. Oh, and Dave Grajewski's going for a wild ride, missing the front end of the truck. Chase Berry was also tied up in something. Let's see what happened there. Trying to see, that was Berry up against the wall, had some sort of incident. And what happened to Grajewski there? What was that? Was that net code? We're watching Grajewski's number 6 machine. Chase Berry is going to be on the inside track. I can't tell if that was net code or terrible luck. Let's see if we can get an onboard there with Grajewski, but absolutely obliterated the front end of that truck. Enhance. On board with Dave Grajewski, the number 6. Let's see where things went wrong for him here. You can see Chase Berry off the inside line. That might have been good old-fashioned contact there. I mean, it just about ripped the front right of that truck off. And that is going to be our first caution of the night. Top 11 drivers stay out. Jump, Hardgrove, Berry, Stewart, Simmons, White, and Ghostin came down pit road. Now, we knew Berry was going to be a shoe-in with the damage, but I think Grajewski might have put it back in the virtual hauler. So we're being told by Mr. Dustin Bally, we're expecting about 45 laps on a tank. So my estimate, 35 to 45 laps, was pretty decent for the pit window. So everybody's going to have to complete at least one more pit stop. Dave Grajewski getting a lot of love from the fans by Triple D, as well as Mr. Benson Weaver. Hating to see that for the number 6 machine. Data, super great guy on and off the track. So even drivers that came down pit road in this cycle are still going to be about 20 to 21 laps short on fuel. But you've also got some guys that are going to be starting from 12th place back with some fresh tires underneath them. And now that we've got a few more fans in the house as well, guys, let us know, or let me know, I should say, how is the microphone sounding? We did some pre-race adjustments at the last second due to feedback from the Monday show and want to make sure everything's dialed in for you guys out there. Bradley and Roethlisberger will be on the front row. Gio and Brobst your second row. Smith and Seraph will make up the third row. Safety car is in. Let's send him out. The first restart of the season following the first caution. Bradley's on the throttle. Looks like Roethlisberger is asleep at the wheel a little bit there in the Aflac back 93. That's going to give a position to Hunter Gio in the 33 and maybe the 67 of Nick Seraph. As we dive into turn one, looks like Ellis Thomas trying to make something happen there. Thomas up 8 positions now. Robert Brobst, Chris Smith, Ellis Thomas. 3 wide here at Vegas. What a beautiful formation from these guys. Putting on a show for the season opener. The number 29, Nathan Jump, was squeezed in the middle there. Gets out of the danger zone a little bit. As up ahead of them, that is Brian Brobst and Zach Roethlisberger side by side. They've pulled about 3/10 over Ellis Thomas, but keeping everybody else right there in tow. And I'm surprised with how many moves we're seeing here at the season opener very early on into the run, especially knowing drivers are still going to have to pit. You know, that fuel window remains lap 35 to 45, depending on what drivers are thinking they can do here. They were able to save a little bit during the caution, but not a ton of fuel can be saved there. And are we going to go 3 wide once more with Brian Brobst in the middle? Yes, we are. We've come to put on a show, and we are delivering. That's Thomas, Brian Brobst, Nathan Jump. And everybody trying to get a piece of it as they're pushing a mighty big hole through the air. Forming back up 2 wide as Nathan Jump hops to the middle of the groove behind Brian Brobst. Jacob Bradley still leading the race, but just less than 1/10 of a second he has over Nick Seraph. And it looked like our leaders were going to hint at going 3 wide there for a moment. Oh, and this is a crash waiting to happen. Somehow the field was able to save it, but we're hinting at 4 wide now. Everybody funneling back into line 3 and 4. So there's a bobble somewhere out on track, and the field was able to put it together. But that's going to cost everybody from about 5th place back a 6th place back, a 1.5 disadvantage over the top 5 here. Bradley and Seraph side by side for the race lead. Seraph looking for his first lap led here this season. Right behind them, Roethlisberger, Gio side by side as Nathan Jump enjoying a great view of the action. There's on board with Nathan Jump. Swapping to go behind Hunter Gio briefly before diving back to the inside line. Now, the top 5 have now built up a 1.9 second. Let's call it a 2-second advantage over the rest of the field here. If we pan a little bit further back, that is Brian Brobst and Robert Brobst side by side right behind Ashton Cosner, Thomas Bergeron. And we're 3 wide inside the top 5. I'm amazed at how racy the top 5 are and still gaining time over the rest of the field. 6th place back is going to need to work together here if they want to reel in these dominant drivers up front. But we also have that pit stop coming up, and that could throw a wrench in the plans of several drivers. The 67, Nick Serra, pushing Nathan Jacob Bradley, the number 50 machine, as Jump is on the inside line. Nick Serra currently sitting in 3rd, but was hinting, and I didn't check live time, he might have gotten credit for a lap led as we're actually on board with the Bass Pro Shop number 67 Chevrolet. There's Nathan Jacob Bradley going side by side. Now Roethlisberger's going to go side by side with Seraph. Jump looking to take back over the race lead from that number 50 machine. Now, if we go a little bit further back to Robert Brobst, he's dropped back down to 8th. Still, you've got 6th through about 13th place here. And this pretty large pack that's not quite running nose to tail, and that's probably why they're still about 2 seconds back from those top 5 drivers. That and the tire wear starting to become a factor. I'm keeping an eye out for Robert Ryan White, the number 17 Ford F-150. He's sitting 11th and currently has some of the freshest tires out on track here. Drivers have 2 sets of tires available to them for this main event, as it looks like Jump out front getting the credit for the lap led here at Vegas. Bradley in hot pursuit, but they've gained about a half-second advantage over Nick Seraph. Seraph still has Roethlisberger and Gio tucked in behind. White using those new tires to an advantage, makes a pass against Chris Smith and Rye Jones. Jones falling back a little bit here. Smith fires back against White. Let's see, can our lone Canadian Peter Stewart make something happen? Stewart's going to pressure the inside line against White. As always, great racing all across the track here, the Spark Truck Series. You've got about a 5-truck shootout here for the final top 10 spot. Up front, Nathan Jump has gained about a 1/4 second over Jacob Bradley. And now it looks like Nick Seraph is going to have company from Roethlisberger, who's going to work the inside line. I heard a little bit of a wall drag. I'm not sure if that was from Seraph or not, as they are very, very close here coming out of the start-finish line. Seraph holds on to 3rd. Roethlisberger, if he thinks he has the pace here, going to try and quickly get around Seraph, but at this point, drivers over a second off their fastest laps of the race as they're starting to battle the tire wear just a little bit. And at this point in the run, that's going to make it a little bit harder for Roethlisberger to stick his nose in against Seraph. You can see Roethlisberger going way down low there to try and make something happen against Nick Seraph. And still side by side we go. Now this is giving an advantage of about 8 tenths to Jump and Bradley. who seem to be content here running single file, put up a little bit more of a gap over the rest of the field. Roethlisberger finally completing that pass against Seraph. That's going to be for the final podium spot. Now the fuel window should be officially open for these drivers. And I think they're going to wait probably till lap 38 or 40 to put themselves in a bit safer position. And if we keep rocking and rolling like we are, I think these drivers are going to wait till the last second. I'll be curious to see as well Nathan Jump out front pushing a lot of air on his lonesome there. Is he maybe burning up a little bit more fuel than somebody such as Bradley or Roethlisberger running second or third? Jump has shaken off Bradley here, gaining a half-second advantage over that number 50 machine. Hard charger out on track is going to be Thomas Bergeron, the number 86. He is up 6 positions in his Ford F-150. There's Robert Ryan White chasing the number 17. And I think Seraph might have used up some tires here. Now he's got Hunter Gio in the 33, putting the pressure on the inside line. I do love long green flag runs. Allows these drivers to show their racecraft, their planning, and their strategy every Wednesday night here at the Spark Truck Series. Kenny Trouton in the fan zone, giving himself some love for the livery, the paint scheme on that number 17 Ford of White. White's got Bergeron and Ghosted in hot pursuit. So now we've got about 5 drivers. I'm going to decide on 5 officially that are up 5 spots. Robert Brobst, Ashton Cosner, Abram Ghosted. Robert Ryan White was one of those drivers, but now he's going to fall back as Bergeron takes over the hard charger position. So we feel fairly confident in saying the fuel window is officially open. And I can't tell. Looks like Roethlisberger keeping the pace up here, running about a 10th faster than Jump or Bradley, first or second. And now Roethlisberger is going to look to take over the second place position before we see the field en masse coming down pit road. Nick Seraph has fought back into 4th against Hunter Gio. Let's get a camera angle back to Hunter Gio. That's Gio and Seraph side by side. Gio looks to maybe have grabbed that 4th place spot securely from Seraph, but I think at this point too, driver's going to be maybe getting set up for the pit cycle. I'm excited to see some green flag pit stops for the first time this season. And as I say that, there's Brian Brobst and Rye Jones coming down pit road. The first drivers onto pit road, grabbing 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel to hopefully take them till the end of this feature event. Brian Brobst, Rye Jones, still the only 2 drivers have come down pit road. We still have 18 of our 19 entries out on track here. Yeah, I have a feeling as now Robert Brobst and Thomas Bergeron come down pit road, drivers have done the napkin math that was confirmed by Dustin Volley in the spectator area, saying these guys should be good to go till the end of this point. Right now, your top 3, Jump, Roethlisberger, and Bradley. And Nathan Jump might be off strategy here. He came down pit road in lap 16, took 4 fresh tires and a tank of gas. I think Jump might have set himself up here for a good position. And here's the rest of the top of the pack. Here comes Roethlisberger, Bradley, Gio, Seraph, all down pit road. Peter Stewart's going to stay out, taking over second. He was another driver on that alternative strategy. Abram Ghostin moves up into third. So I'm doing my napkin math up here in the booth. We think Jump will probably come in around lap 60 to 65. Barring any cautions before then, but right now your top 6, Jump, Stewart, Ghostin, Simmons, Hardgrove, and Barry. All drivers that came down pit road on lap 16. Now we get to see the strategy play out. And that's also going to leave only those 6 drivers that pitted early. They're going to be the only drivers in the lead lap as we are officially past the halfway mark of today's main event. Let's see how this is going to play out. So now you've got drivers, fast drivers on fresh sets of tires. Roethlisberger and Bradley running 7th and 8th. But they are 41 seconds back from Nathan Jump. The 7th place back is hoping we don't get a caution and get trapped a lap down. The top 5, top 6, they're hoping for it here. I agree with the fans wholeheartedly. Abram Ghostin down pit road. I think that's going to be his 2nd stop. Bradley taking back over that 7th place spot from Roethlisberger. Nathan Jump out front, just about a full 8 seconds up over Peter Stewart in 2nd. Yeah, Benson Weaver might be right. They might be giving the wave around if all the lead lap drivers pit, if there is a caution. Ghostin out of his pit stop after his 2nd stop of the night in the number 22 Chevrolet. So we know for certain he's going to be one of the faster drivers with fresh tires and definitely good to go till the end here. There's Nathan Jump, the number 29 machine, rocking and rolling. Last time by, he was only 1 second off his fastest lap of the race. He's losing about 0.7 of a second per lap. So Jump doing a good job tire saving the Chevrolet, not burning up his stuff too early here. There's Bradley and Roethlisberger still linked up nose to tail. Are they going to work together here and whittle away at the lead of the top drivers? Or are we going to see some more side-by-side shenanigans? They're about 3.8 seconds up over Hunter Gio sitting in 8th. It was previously a top 5 contender. Look at this. Peter Stewart going to come down pit road, the number 91 machine. Nathan Jump opts to stay out even longer. Jump still only losing about a 0.5 second per lap over the rest of the field. So if he times this right with the tire wear, as he looks like he's hugging the apron there, not going to pit this time, though. Man, Jump is looking really good here. Loving the strategy. Now, we still have 4 drivers who have yet to pit. But that's going to make Clifton Simmons, the number 88 machine, our current hard charger, the Toyota Tundra, is up 14 spots so far. Now I'm waiting to see where Stewart comes out on track here. So it looks like Stewart's going to go from 2nd to 13th and 1 lap down here at Vegas after that lap 52 pit stop. Chase Berry is catching up to Patrick Hargrove, working the inside line. Here comes the 86 machine, Thomas Bergeron. Trying to get a lap back here from some of the top 5 drivers. Berry looking good in that 3rd place spot. Has gained about a 10th over Hargrove. There we go. Nathan Jump coming down pit road for his, what may be his final pit stop of the night. So Jump is committed to the strategy here. If things don't go well, there's a late race caution. Jump's not going to have any tires left behind the wall. That's going to leave Clifton Simmons, Chase Berry, Patrick Hargrove still out after their lap 16. No, as I say that, Hargrove's going to come down pit road. So it's just Simmons and Berry, the only drivers from that lap 16 pit cycle under caution, who have yet to come down pit road. Where is Jump going to come out on track to relation to Roethlisberger? Looks like it might be 3rd here. There goes Brian Brobst, Hunter Gio, Nick Seraph. But Jump knows everybody in front of him is going to have to pit one more time. Chase Berry's down pit road. What about Clifton Simmons? He's enjoying the limelight here in Vegas. Get another lap led under the belt for the 88. Simmons the only driver who has yet to come down pit road. You got 5 or 6 drivers on a 2-stop strategy. The rest of the field hoping they've got enough fuel to go till the end here. There's the 34 of Ashton Cosner getting a lap back, as well as Abram Gosen, the number 22. I think that's Thomas Bergeron. No, it's not. Simmons gets ready for a pit cycle, but is he out of gas? On the apron, mighty early there. I think he was just about out of fuel. Let's listen and see if the truck sputters at all. Oh no, I think he's out of gas. Simmons needs to kick the clutch in if he wants to make it to his pit stall. That is going to be an agonizing moment for Simmons. Oh, he's rocking the truck back and forth here. Icarus has flown too close to the sun as Simmons tries to limp it back to his stall, hoping the other crews get out and give him a hand. Nathan Jump has worked his way back up into 3rd. He sets the fastest lap of the race, a 30.46. We got a report that Simmons did make it safely to his pit stall, and there was another incident reported with Brian Brobst and Hunter Gio. Both drivers go for a wild ride through the infield. Let's see if we can get another replay angle queued up on that one. But thankfully didn't bring out a caution. Oh, it looked like a 3 feet of net code there. Nick Seraph almost got tied up in that as well. Well done to these drivers, able to save it. There's your top three. Bradley, Roethlisberger, and I'm trying to see who that is trying to get a lap back. That's going to be Chase Berry in the 46. Nathan Jump, the number 29, only 3.3 seconds back from these top two drivers. And I think Jump's in a good position here. 21 laps left to go, a 3.2 second deficit, but some fresh tires underneath him. And he does not have to worry at all about fuel saving to make it till the end. Chase Berry right behind the lead pack here. Has the freshest tires out on track. But he wants to be in front of these guys. I mean, he's got to go all the way around them and a full lap to catch back up. Looks like a little bit of lap traffic ahead for Bradley and Roethlisberger. Less than 20 laps left to go here, the season opener of the Spark Truck Series. Nathan Johnson in third is whittled away at the advantage of the race leaders down to 2.8 seconds. Jump only running about a tenth faster per lap right now, maybe 2/10 at best. So at that pace, he's got to find a little bit more speed here, I think. If Jump can get it down to a 2.5 second disadvantage in the next couple laps, I still would tend to throw my wager behind that number 29 Chevrolet. Bradley and Roethlisberger staying linked up nose to tail. They'd rather fight in the last lap or close to it rather than now and allow anybody else up here into the top two. But Nathan Jump now 2.5 seconds back from the lead pack. That number 29 machine charging forward here all on his lonesome. Does not have any draft support to do it. And he has 16 laps left to go. He needs to gain on average about 1.5 per lap. Right now he's in that window doing the lap times he needs. But that also doesn't give him any buffer. He needs to be closer to 2/10 a lap to give himself some breathing room at the end. He's got it down to 2.3, so Jump, he doesn't burn up his tires because there's the top two, Bradley and Roethlisberger. Chase Berry sitting behind a lap down. He is in that lucky dog spot if there is a late race caution. Right now, Nathan Jump hoping that we can go clean and green till the end as he's used up all of his tires. 3/4 or so of the field still has one more set left behind the wall. $14 laps left to go here at Vegas. Bradley Roethlisberger staying linked up nose to tail. If we go back to Nick Seraph in fourth, he's got Robert Brobst right in tow. And a little bit we just saw in the camera, Rye Jones and Chris Smith, 6 and 7. Seraph still hunting for that top 5. Good to see Seraph not having any hardware issues in this season opener. Has had great talent in seasons past, but hasn't had much luck, though, with some of his sim racing equipment. So, Seraph turning things around a little bit in the 67. Hard charge out on track. That's going to be Robert Brobst, the number 5. He is up 7 positions, currently sitting in 5th. There's Ellis Thomas hopping out of the way. The race leaders realize as they are charging forward. Is Roethlisberger going to try and make a move for the lead here? Using lap traffic to his advantage. That's Robert Ryan White, the number 17 machine's going to go up against the wall. Drivers way down the apron, trying to make the track here at Vegas as small as possible. That's the number 88 of Clifton Simmons, was having a fantastic run. Unfortunately, ran out of gas, had to limp it down pit road. That cost him 45 seconds. Having to clutch in and rocking back and forth in the sim rig. Now, this is interesting as well. Now I show Ellis Thomas in the lucky dog contention. So he's really hoping for a caution as Thomas, White, Barry, and a bit of a 3-truck gaggle here for the 13th place spot and battling for that lucky dog. We've seen late race cautions throw a wrench in the plans of champions before. 10 laps left to go. The top two linked up nose to tail. Nathan Jump in third has closed within a second here. But now Jump is going to have to wiggle through this lap traffic, and there is a fair bit of them. We are less than 10 laps left to go here at Vegas. Nathan Jump trying to close the gap. He was within frame of the race leaders, has got it within 3/4 of a second. And Jump was a half second faster than the race leaders last time by using the draft off of traffic to the advantage of that number 29 machine. Are we going to see a 3-truck shootout here at the end? Does Bradley and Roethlisberger have anything left for the 29 machine? They're on 11 lap older tires than Jump. Oh, I hope this thing can run out on a green flag here. Here we go. The top 3 drivers within 0.3 of a second. Jump is charging forward, is catching up to the tail end of Roethlisberger. Does he stay in line and wait till late in the race, or is he going to put the hammer down the 29? I would imagine he's going to play it a little bit safe, as he does not have the tires left behind the wall if there is a caution. Bradley and Roethlisberger taking up the whole track side by side for the race lead. Jump says, no problems. I'll look towards the middle here. The door is closed by the top 2. Sam Stoner joined us in the spectator. Always great seeing Sam. Sorry to get the call out there earlier. Jump on the inside line of Roethlisberger. No, Jump takes the long way around. Side by side for second. Bradley holds on to lead. 6 laps left to go. As we approach the start-finish line, Jump's going to go way down low on the apron. And Nathan Jump leads us just past the line. Now let's see, does Bradley and Roethlisberger have anything left in reserve, or is Jump going to walk away with it here with a gutsy strategy? The only driver in the top 5 on a 2-stop strategy. Bradley and Roethlisberger staying right there in tow, the number 29. Bradley, the number 50, up high. Roethlisberger, the green and black 93 Ford. Just kind of watching here. Jump staying committed to that way down low line he's been running, trying to make Bradley run the long way around. Are we seeing a bit of chess amongst the top 3 drivers? Seeing who has the tires left in reserve. Bradley carries the corner speed out of 2. Takes the race lead by just a hair of a bumper. Now, if we can take the white flag without incident, we will not use a green-white checker attempt here. Jump ahead by 4/300ths of a second as they cross the line. 3 laps left to go here at Vegas. Bradley doing a better job than I was expecting. I was worried he might have used up too much tire, but everybody in the top 3 on almost identical lap times. Bradley running that mid to high line out of 2. Carries just a little bit more pace out onto the backstretch. Who's going to be at the line this time by as we get ready to click it over 2 to go? I show Jump ahead 0.300ths of a second. And it's going to be 200s at the line. Jump staying down low. I'm also curious, as Roethlisberger, is he going to try and make a 2-for-1 here when the white flag comes out? Oh, still side by side here. White flag is out here at Vegas, the season opener. Who's it going to be? Jumping Bradley side by side. Roethlisberger hanging back by about 3/10. Bradley takes over the race lead by 100th of a second. Jump's going to stay on that inside line. It's going to be down to the line here. Jump's going to guard the inside line. And it's going to be Nathan Jump by 400ths of a second. Jacob Bradley second. And Zach Roethlisberger will round out the top 3. What a fantastic race amongst these drivers. One of the best truck finishes I've called in a while. And Nathan Jump pulls it up to the start-finish line, and what I assume is going to be a very well-deserved burnout. A gutsy strategy in the Pepsi Max Back Chevrolet Silverado that paid massive dividends here tonight. We had one caution to start the season off, and that number 29 machine, an extremely well-deserved win. That was fantastic to watch. We're waiting on Nathan Jump and Jacob Bradley to make their way up here to victory lane for the post-race celebrations and shenanigans. Extremely impressed with these drivers here tonight. That was a ton of fun to watch. We're going to get things started, though, with our podium celebration. Up first, we're going to get Mr. Zach Roethlisberger, the number 93 machine. Zach, welcome to the podium interview celebration. Man, what a great race amongst all of you guys up front.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. To have a finish like that in the season debut at I'm going to call this track Vegas. The way that it raced today was fun. To all be within a half second of each other.
Yeah, I mean, we had one caution, but green flag pit stops, a lot of new faces, and a lot of opportunities to kind of learn what everybody's going to do. And how quickly were you figuring out who you can trust out there on track in the Aflac back 93?
It was just kind of a feeling out process as you have with these new leagues and trying to figure out who's who and who you can race tough with and who to give a little bit of space to. And, I felt like, I was trying to push Jacob there as far as I could, knowing Nathan was on fresher tires. So he was good to work with. And like I said, it's good to integrate yourself into a new league like this with a bunch of new faces like that week one.
Well, super cool to have you up here for the first time, kicking the season off strong. Zach, before I let you go and unline from Vegas, who do you want to give a shout to that helps put you up here in the top 3?
I just want to thank the admins for putting it on. Thank you for broadcasting and putting the race on for us. It's always fun to go back and watch. And then, everybody who makes the league go around, we definitely appreciate a platform to race. And then a special shout out to Nathan Gentry, who sent me this paint like 5 minutes before this, or 15 minutes before the session opened. So he put this together to me. So thank you to him.
Awesome, Zach. Pleasure having you up here. I'm sure we'll see you a bunch more throughout the season. And again, congratulations on a hard and well-earned 3rd place.
Hope so, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Zach Roethlisberger, excuse me, bringing it home. And in the third, up next, we've got Mr. Jacob Bradley joining us, the number 50 machine. Jacob, you stayed true to the one-stop strategy. You mentioned it briefly before tonight's event, but it seemed like it worked out very well for you in that number 50 machine.
Yeah, I think if there was another caution, it would have worked a little bit better. We were kind of just hoping that there would be another one in between, and that didn't happen. And it almost worked out. I didn't think Nathan was going to catch us until we caught that lap traffic, and we just kind of slowed up from there. And I think we put on a pretty good finish there.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun to watch from up here in the booth. I'm sure you guys had as much fun out on track. And Zach was telling us it drove a lot like a super speedway here tonight. Was that your experience as well?
Yeah, it was a super speedway. The tires would eventually start to wear out at the very end of the runs. I was really glad that we were making 40-lap runs today so that we could see some tire wear. But it was just a bit of a struggle getting to there because it would just be a plate track all the way up until about lap 25.
Now, so you and I talked briefly about the strategy call and how you wish there was a caution, but how do you make that decision to gamble and basically say, hey, I don't think there's going to be another caution. Let's keep these tires either on the truck or have a set ready?
Well, the caution comes out on 19. I kind of just assumed there'd be another one, and there wasn't. All the drivers did a very good job tonight. I know there was a couple saves deep in the field, so that's just a testament to all the drivers in the field that a shortstop strategy would work.
Well, Jacob, very well said. Glad things still panned out well up in that second place spot, starting the season off strong. And before I let you sign off and unwind from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen here tonight at Vegas?
I want to thank all of the admins, Johnny, Dade, Robert, Randy, Devin, helped me put this thing on. I want to thank you for doing the broadcast. I thank all the fans watching and all of the league supporters.
Awesome. Jacob, always a pleasure, bud, and I'm sure we'll have you up here a bunch throughout the season.
Thank you.
That was Mr. Jacob Bradley bringing it home in second, but now the man of the hour, Mr. Nathan Jump, the number 29 Chevy. You gambled on a two-top strategy, and man, did it pay off well for you here.
Yeah, what's up, bro? I guess I got pretty lucky on that one. I didn't think we'd only have one caution tonight. Once I took that first set of tires, I was like, oh man, this could backfire real fast on me.
Yeah, I mean, how apprehensive were you? I mean, there was also a lot of traffic you guys had to cut through, both yourself and Bradley and Roethlisberger throughout that field. How apprehensive that you were going to put that truck in a dangerous spot and undo all that hard work of a two-stop strategy?
I was real mindful of it. I knew if I got into somebody and caused yellow, my race was probably done. Or if I got damaged, it was over. So I knew I had those fresher tires at the end. I just had to maneuver just a little bit, but luckily they kind of stayed out of the way, I think. We might have been 3 wide, honestly, but it felt like they got out of the way, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of good racecraft out there out on track, Nathan. And now it's a long season, a lot more technical tracks. Do you think you would stick to that strategy in the future, or would you play it safe and assume there's going to be more cautions in future events?
No, it seems like a pretty good league. This is my first time racing with you guys. It seems real clean and real smart. So I doubt we have crazy caution races. But yeah, I wasn't really excited for this track. I like tracks where there's more brake required. But definitely looking forward to some of the future tracks.
Now, is there any tracks in particular that you're super excited about or maybe apprehensive about later this season?
Definitely not Sonoma. I like Phoenix a lot, but that's a long ways out from now. Rockingham is good, but I might miss it. I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely not Sonoma. That's all I'll say.
That's fair enough. Well, Nathan, super cool having you up here. A newcomer starting the season off strong. A big win for the number 29. And now, my friend, you got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you pick up this big win here at Vegas?
First shout out RJ Williams for showing me the league. Shout out to you, and also shout out to Clifton Simmons. I saw him driving around in a University of Wyoming paint scheme, and I live in Cheyenne, so that was pretty cool to see. You don't really see that a whole lot.
Awesome. Nathan, congratulations again, man. Hopefully we'll have you up here whenever you're able to race with us. And again, a very well-deserved win here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Nathan Jump bringing it home in the top spot, his debut here at the Spark Racing Truck Series. He was accompanied by Mr. Jacob Bradley and Zach Roethlisberger bringing it home in third. Also special note, Nick Serra finished fourth, and our hard charger of the night was Abram Ghostin, up 8 positions. On behalf of the Spark Racing League, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending your Wednesday night with us, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.